Yeah, that's up for debate, but I'd actually agree with him for the moment, especially the way they've been looking in the first few weeks. I think that they're very solid. I think Roro is mechanically gifted on the Pharah, and Huss on hit scan is always a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, certainly, and that is what we are going to get to see from the outset. Roro on that Pharah, Huss on hit scan, on the Ashe. Mindfreak just a little bit quicker to the point, but immediately backing away. Look at that, and oh dear, it's not a good start at all, is it? Bus has been totally isolated. He is not going to last too long at all. That was excellent work with the concussive blast from Roro.
Yeah, well-placed concussive blast there, splitting Bus from his team. It looks like Mindfreak will go back and swap things up. They go for this 2-2-2 composition with the Sombra and the Tracer. This is used, they can punish the Pharah and the Mercy here with the Sombra, and the Tracer can be quite annoying, peeling back the Mercy off the Pharah by pressuring Tung. It'll be interesting to see if Tung can handle himself 1v1 versus this Addy Tracer.
How easy this is going to be for Mindfreak. You're putting a lot of onus on Addy and August when they're going up against some star DPS players like Roro and Huss. It's going to have to be something special when we've talked especially about the strength of Mindfreak perhaps being their tank line, but that's a good start. August is going to get modern, so he's down and out of this fight. So we'll go very low. Still, well, hasn't been picked, I was going to say, and that is going to be a lie at this point as Huss will finish him off. August, though, is actually absolutely popping off in this fight. He's picked up 3 so far. Straight onto the point is Mindfreak, and they're going to cap it out by the looks of things. Modern has managed to return on that Wrecking Ball, but he won't last too long, not up against the damage that Mindfreak is pumping out right now. And that's a good flip, a good response, and a great resurgence from Mindfreak.
Yeah, and that fight was all on August. He gets that important hack onto Modern's Wrecking Ball early on in the fight, builds himself up a majority of his ultimate, second hack, straight on Roro. Roro gets punished and taken down too. And then he finishes off with killing Noz on the Sombra. He manages to eclipse Noz's Sombra ult charge, build one of his own. So really well played from August, someone that I've been excited to see all season, and on Sombra as well. I hear that he is known to play a fair bit of in the match.
He's going to come in here, smash, and that is going to be a very good one. 5 players and 5 for Kiki as well. That is absolutely insane. And what a combo.
And that's what you mean. If these players can get a hot start, and that is a hot start if I've ever seen one, they manage to throw it in. Now they're going to go swap back though. They know the composition is weaker against this GOATS composition, and they're going to swap all the way back to this 3-3. But wow, what an EMP out from August. The follow-up from Kiki. These players, they've been in the lab.
Oh, that EMP was cancelled.
The EMP cancelled, but Bustle still goes down.
I don't know how that happened.
Not sure either.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a little bit, you know, that kind of sort of puts the brakes on the hype train for Mindfreak a little bit.
Yeah,
like, they were totally caught off isolated. Bust was overextended. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway.
I think they were waiting for the hero swaps, the boys to come back from the spawn room. Freshly swapped heroes, and Bust just caught out of position a little bit. He will swap to the Reinhardt now, so the only difference now is there is a Diva on the side of Mindfreak G and a Sombra on the side of the Warriors.
It's going to be a quick resurgence here from Mindfreak.
Yeah, both sides very dry on ultimates. It will be down to who can find the best positioning, who can find that lucky stun. And Aki has taken out Noz with a right click, and that's what you want to do. That's the start of the fight that you want to see if you're a Mindfreak fan.
Yeah, Swilko's pretty low, but going to heal himself back on up as we begin the point brawl. Modern will go down. Bust is doing the damage this time. Everyone on Mindfreak is having their opportunity, having their fight, where they really get to be involved. Huss finally falls as well, so Warriors have definitely got a bit of battle ahead of them here against Mindfreak.
Yeah, and it was a clean fight. Nobody really building ultimate either side. Aki with that pick on the Sombra early. That's such a fortunate little thing to go right. Everything seems to be going right for Mindfreak at the moment. They will retain control of the point. They will get time if they lose this fight, but this is one that they want to win. Bus can jump in or here if they can intercept them. No, they take the passive route. They look like they're going to set up on point.
Well, I think for Mindfreak, you might actually want to take 5 or 10 seconds here before this fight actually starts to build some of those ults up. As I'm talking, we've seen both the support ultimates come online for Mindfreak where they otherwise weren't beforehand. Slowly but surely, more and more are coming for Mindfreak. The Shatter is blocked there by Bus. Well done by him. He'll get his own across, and this might well be round 1 going the way of Mindfreak. The kills aren't quite there yet, but the damage that they're putting in is looking good indeed. Graviton Surge is there, but so is Aki with the Transcendence. And sooner or later, Warriors are going to have to fall by the wayside in this one. They certainly seem to have been routed, and Mindfreak will be picking up round 1. It's fair to say.
Good patience from Mindfreak there, realizing that if they give up the point, it's not the end of the world. They just needed to wait for those ultimates to come online, regroup, retake, and they go forward, and they look to be taking the first round of Nepal.
They are. I mean, it's taken a while, hasn't it?
It's taken a while, but they managed
go.
to get it. And this is a round that I would have favoured it. The Warriors feeling very comfortable on managing to bring that DPS composition out. But you saw that big combo from August and Kiki really put the stops on that DPS composition. The fresh swap to Goats didn't work for Warriors. And this is worrying signs for the Warriors. If they can't match it up on DPS, they can't match it up on Goats.
Well, what then? Bunker composition. Take a leaf out of Mindfreak's book. Just run whatever you feel like.
Well, that's it.
Maybe that'll work.
I don't think they're bunker players, and we're gonna get some classic Overwatch for the last 6 months. We're gonna get this 3-3 composition. This is gonna be interesting for me. Both of these teams, very mechanically skilled players on the Zaryas and the Brigittas. And the Zenyatas too, actually. They're actually all around the board. There's a lot of good players in this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, these are definitely players that we expect to see maybe even at finals. You know, these are top 4 teams. At least it's looking like it after week 1, and certainly into today's match as well. You can just see how clean the gameplay is on both sides. Modern trying to push forward and put damage into Bus, but he's actually going to swing back, and it does seem to be at the moment, I'd say, favouring Mindfreak, just judging by the HP bars. Modern again going fairly low. The shield drops as well. Aki's putting some good damage in from the back lines here on Zenyatta.
Yeah, they're getting some beautiful crossfires up, and that's what you want. But watch for Hush's aggression here when that personal cooldown comes back up.
Oh, watch for Mindfreak's aggression as well. Bus just steamrolling forward. I feel like I've seen a movie about that where there's no brakes on the bus. They do actually cap the point up, Mindfreak. Warriors haven't lost a player yet, though. They're just waiting, biding their time. Earthshatter is ready here, though.
Yeah, and this is going to be the key ultimate, I think. Roro has the rally advantage after August used them to push it off point, but I don't know, this is going to be tight. Roro does aggress onto Bus. Bus can't Earthshatter now. It's very hard for him to do. He's going to come for the flank, though. He's looping around the side. He's seen Tongue.
Oh, it does just get blocked by Modern, and I don't think Modern's was blocked, but I don't know that it hit necessarily too many players. The Grime certainly does. And that should be the end of Mindfreak here. They're going to just try and stagger onto that point by as many percentages as possible.
Yeah, they get 36% in the end. Not a bad result on the side, Mindfreak. They do commit a lot of ultimates. Aki did use the Transcendence there to try and counteract the Husk Graviton Surge, but I believe Husk might have personal bubbled, run into the Grav, and cut it in half, meaning the Transcendence healing didn't come through. Mindfreak now on the retake. They got the Diva Bomb. We saw Kiki get 5 earlier. No EMP to help him this time, though. I think that ultimate is still going to be the key, though. If Kiki can find a sneaky Diva Bomb in here with this Graviton Surge, this is the way they can get back this fight.
Oh, there is the Diva Bomb. Really results in a whole lot. Graviton Surge will go down from Addy, but oh, that's perhaps an ill-advised ultimate usage as Mindfreak have just been absolutely wrecked off the back of it. Warriors are back in action. Round 2 here on Nepal is most certainly being a lot more confident than round 1 was.
Yeah, unfortunately Mindfreak didn't have a support ult running when they used that Graviton Surge, which means it kind of baited them in. They all went really aggressive to try and get the kills off the Graviton Surge, but and it doesn't stop the damage output from the side of the Warriors. They just pump damage into Bus there, and he dropped like a fly.
He's got the Earthshatter now this time. Modern almost has it as well. If he would have connected that Fire Strike, he would have.
I think Mindfreak need to look to be very aggressive here before the support ults come up on the side of the Warriors.
Oh, there's still quite a lot of time for that. Only 30% for Tongue, 25% for Jungle. But Mindfreak aren't making those aggressive moves just yet. Perhaps waiting for Warriors to come to them. And that is what has happened. Shatter, well, he blocked most of it there, Modern, and he's hit a great one as well. The sound barrier does go down, however, from Swuko, which is going to keep Mindfreak healthy. Self-destruct, you can't sound barrier past that, though. Noz gets one, starts the fight off pretty nicely for Warriors, and the rest of the fight will probably fall by the wayside quite quickly here for Mindfreak as well. Might be the last fight that they get. We're at 94%. I don't think that Mindfreak's going to be able to recontest this point.
Yeah, it looks like Bus on the ball, trying to stall it out, but I don't think it will be enough to manage to get a decent fight back in here. It's just going to be the trickles, and we saw hesitance from Mindfreak G. Just poses a problem. If they track the ultimates correctly, they know that they have a massive support ult advantage. They can go in, they can really pressure Modern out, so he can't use that Earthshatter, and it's unfortunate to see, but that's the 3-3 matchup in a nutshell. Managing your ultimates and executing. And Warriors really had the upper hand in that matchup.
So this is the point of Nepal where we might see a bit of a change-up, if anything. Just based on the positions right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be anything outside of the 3-3, but Bunker definitely an option here.
I think both of these teams are very comfortable on this 3-3. We could be seeing a lot of it tonight in this matchup. Bus and Modern, both pretty good Winston players as well, so you do like to see Winston on this map. Big chance for environmental kills, and you can see the mechanics of the players come to the front, the spotlight.
Yeah, looks like they're both going to follow each other. Bus, does he have the backup that Modern does there? I'm not sure that he does, actually. Where's Kiki in all of this? Bus has to back away, and he's going to be chased by Modern by the looks of things, who now has kind of isolated himself. Well, Jungle went down early to August. Modern rejoins the team, jumping back across to the platform, and that means August is now the one that is kind of isolated. Both teams have had players that have kind of been left out to dry, but in the end it doesn't really favour either, as it's a 1-for-1 pick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a messy engagement, but Bus goes back in. Huss dropping very low. Bus and Huss, names it rhyme. But again, it's just everyone just trading damage, coming in and out. Yeah. Ping-ponging off the point, ping-ponging in these fights too. Bus getting close to this Winston ult. He'll want to try and build this up. This could be the fight turner.
It's definitely getting to that point. Maybe that's the fight turner. Jungle gets Addy off the edge. Bus, he's gone Primal Rage in a pretty good position, but Modern has done it just as well, and perhaps even better. The Raging Monkeys, and one knocks the other off the edge. Goodness me, Modern's thrown Bus over. Bus is off the map, who knew?
Yeah, Bus off the map for the first time in this Contenders season, so congratulations to Bus for lasting this long. But
week and a bit.
We talked about Modern being the big hammer. Now what is he? He's the big monkey?
Yeah, I don't know how we feel about that one.
Yeah, I think that's a bit rough actually. Yeah. Mindfreak now looking to retake. Huss has this Graviton Surge. If he tracked the ultimates well, he'd know that Aki doesn't have this ultimate on the side of the Zenyatta, so it'd only be the sound barrier. Goes in straight away.
Kiki was trying his best to block it, but there's only so much you can do when it goes straight into a wall like that. Tung gets the reward for it, finding the kill onto Addy. It's a 1-for-1, however, but I don't think that really leaves the door open for Mindfreak to push in, particularly given that they've lost their Zaya. 90% charge on the ultimate as well.
Now and back on the side of the Warriors, they have built that Primal Rage up off the Huss's Graviton Surge.
I was just going to rejoin his team. It's looking good for Warriors to be able to hold here, barring some good work out from Addy. That is going to be the Graviton Surge enabled because the self-destruct was thrown in there from Noz. Still doesn't result in a whole lot. Is Bus off the map again? No, looks like he did have a leap available, but Aki is just not getting the peel that he needs. Modern is totally cyberbullying him, pushes him out of the fight. Finally, the Transcendence gets back onto the point. But really, that was excellent work from Modern, and he's continuing to put the hurt into Mindfreak. Bus is going to try and do much the same to Warriors, but he just doesn't quite have that same impact at this point. Swilko's been doing good work with the boops. It's just, again, it's just not quite there for Mindfreak at this point. Warriors have too many numbers on the point, and this is sure to be a 100-0 now, and a 2-1 for Warriors to pick up the first map.
Yeah, Modern, the coolest monkey in the jungle, had a massive impact on that Nepal point. We saw him on the Wrecking Ball earlier on the village and didn't look too keen, but that monkey performance, the Winston, he's played very well.
Yeah, the Primal Rage is
hugely he had some massive Primal Rages, especially that first one. I think he managed to get 3 or 4 kills with that one. So well played from Modern, and well played from the side of the Warriors to take that map 2-1.
Yeah, especially after dropping the first round, you know, a little bit of pressure mounting there. It looked good for Mindfreak, but I suppose when the consistency is called for, that's what you're going to get out from Warriors. Even if they get knocked down a peg, they're going to be able to pick themselves up. Such is the strength of the individuals on that roster. Quite frankly, we could have actually seen this first point of Nepal going their way as well. It was a great turnaround, to be fair, from Mindfreak, but it's not every day that you're going to get a 5-man EMP into a 5-man self-destruct.
Yeah, here it is. Here, I catch a beautiful angle of it. The 5-man. It almost got the 6th too. Jungle dropping very, very low off that. Kiki unlucky not to get the 6th, but still good signs from Mindfreak. This is a competitive series.
It certainly is, and that's kind of what we hoped to see. I think things just need to be cleaned up a little bit there for Mindfreak, and then we're going to have a real good potential to actually, I don't know if I want to say go to overtime at this point, but look, we go to 2-1 there on Nepal. Second round was pretty close. The third round, not quite so much, so maybe it's a case of Warriors here just taking a few rounds to kind of get built into this game, warm themselves up a little bit, and maybe then we see their true colors, because I gotta say, the longer that Nepal went, the more favorable it looked for the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors did look to start off slow, but at the same time, I think August Sombra on the first point was exceptional. And I think that was a big part of them winning that round. They managed to win a few fights off the back of him. Their big EMP, that 6-man EMP that he got, as well as one of the previous fights, I think it was the first fight he played Sombra, he managed to hack 2 very key targets in the Pharah and the Wrecking Ball, which amounted in key kills.
Sombra definitely something we could see further on down the track, looking at the likes of Hollywood and Rialto. What about Paris? Is that a map we're likely to see Sombra on?
First point, definitely. It's very easy to get big EMPs off the line of sight. The really only line of sight they have is that house with the Mega Pack in it. I'd like to see it, but I think that Mindfreak will be sticking with the 3-3 composition. I think they're just a bit more comfortable, a bit more practiced on it.
Well, yeah, that is definitely true, and I would not disagree with you at all. But if they're not going to win those 3-3 matchups against Warriors, maybe that is where we're going to have to see a bit of a change-up occurring here for Mindfreak. It's still a bit early to call that, though. We've really only seen one map. So, you know, we go on to Paris here, Mindfreak sweep away with it, then we're kind of back to square one. We're saying, oh, you know what, maybe things have to change here for Warriors. Maybe they have to look at DPS. But that is something that they could also look to here on Paris. You know, DPS setups for Warriors could be the name of the game.
That first point is popular with Pharah players, and Roro is one of those Pharah players. I think he'll swap off onto second point, though. But the first point attack, Pharah very popular, especially for breaking bunker compositions, and I think that Drop Bears last season used the spam composition, and of course Huss moving over, he likes the spam composition to beat the bunker comp, so I think that could come out, but I'm not sure. I don't think Mindfreak will play the bunker. I think they'll play the Ana Winston defense we've been seeing a lot of, which means maybe we won't see the Pharah, but I do hope to see it. I really rate Roro's Pharah and enjoy watching it, so the more we get to see of it, the better. They are on the attack first too, so maybe we'll get an early indication if they are going to be playing the DPS or if they're going to stick with the tanks.
Ready for battle.
Oh, they've got a whole lot of...
Well, that, I guess, settles the deal.
Mindfreak are running out on this bunker composition, though. The Bastion bunker, in fact. Not the Tourbillon Roadhog bunker that we've been seeing from other teams. It's the Bastion bunker.
It's the Bastion bunker with Winston, not D.Va.
Okay. No, okay, this is interesting as well. So D.Va is quite vulnerable, right? You think about it, versus D.Va, not versus D.Va, sorry, versus a Sombra, D.Va can be quite vulnerable. So using Bus on the Winston and Kiki onto the Orisa instead, it's just a little bit different. Sometimes you can use the Orisa and the Roadhog, but they're choosing to put Bus on the Winston, maybe to disrupt some snipers, maybe to help, you know, peel for the backline, I don't know, but...
Going to be difficult, though, to deal with Roro.
Certainly will. It certainly will be difficult with no Pharah and only the Ana to play with. But if Aki can land his shots, then there should be no dramas.
Oh, Roro just going to try and put some damage in onto Mindfreak before the real commitment is here for Warriors. Obviously, you have to consider what's going on for the rest of the Warriors roster as Huss is back over onto Tracer.
Yeah, I think Warriors are weighing up their options at the moment on how to deal with this composition, if they need to swap or not. It's like they won't be swapping, so they're just going to try and set up some positioning. It can be quite difficult to get in versus this Bastion composition. See the angle they're playing. That covers pretty much every route in. And if you're not going to be able to get your Sombra in behind, your Wrecking Ball in behind, it can be quite difficult to break this bunker composition.
How long is that shield going to last, though, against the constant barrage of the Pharah? And once Roro does inevitably get the rocket barrage up, do you really want to be sitting in a like this?
Oh, big anti-nade. This could be the key to go here. It looks like they won't be going off it, but they have forced out August, and he's gone down to this rocket.
Yeah, slowly but surely. You see the inroads being made here by Warriors. It's been a stoic defense so far from Mindfreak. They haven't really given too much room over to Warriors. Look at Roro, just hiding in the corner. He's okay.
Oh, closer and closer to that barrage. Manages to dodge that halt quite nicely, but the real thing is that Noz's EMP is charging very slowly. He's unable to get this spam in, and now Roro has picked off another player.
That was definitely intended for Bus, that nano boost, and it's connected onto Swilko. That actually might be the point lost here. It is. That's really unfortunate. Bus was on the point on 1 HP. He actually survived, but if he had that that nano boost, that'd have turned things around. Still, war of attrition goes the way of Warriors.
It does, and it looks like Roro will be staying for this barrage. He's getting baited. We saw this earlier, but we don't know. He's staying on it. But again, Roro getting those picks on the Pharah, getting those low HP heroes, forcing them out, forcing August out. I think twice he did. He picked him off on the Sombra and on the Tracer, so going to be interesting to see how now 85% on this EMP. This is the go time they'll be waiting for. They'll be waiting for that EMP to drop with the barrage, and I think it's going to be a lot easier for Ro to get in here than previously.
Yeah, look, if anyone's going to be able to make the firework on this point, it's going to be Roro. Bus just gets caught off. There might have been a hack in there, otherwise I don't know why he didn't leap away. EMP goes through, but Addy still able to get the tank form off. Rocket barrage here. Does get 2, not quite the 3, and a good boost onto Roro to keep him alive through all of that from Tongue. This is looking very, very dangerous indeed for Mindfreak. A very fast cap there on Paris, and that's one way to snowball your win on point A to point B.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there from Noz and Roro. Noz throws the EMP in. Roro wasn't ready to go in just yet. I think he was waiting for the nano boost from Tongue, but still they managed to work it out. Swilker had a nice little immortality barrier there, tucked around the corner, you know, hiding from the barrage, but it's just unfortunately these players weren't in it. They left it a little too long to touch the point too, so things falling apart a little bit for Mindfreak there.
Yeah, that's what I worry about as well with this roster is like, okay, you put in some really hard yards on Nepal, maybe you have a pretty close game here on Paris, but then it sort of starts to slip a little bit, and slowly but surely Warriors come out further and further ahead. It felt like, you know, the Nepal... The whole map of Nepal, to me, kind of felt like a metaphor of what this series could be, in that the first round was pretty close, second round was, you know, pretty close, but favouring Warriors more so, and then the third round was Warriors just absolutely steamrolling. So with a start like that to Paris here for Warriors, I think it's actually imperative for Mindfreak to really come back here with a very solid time of their own, just to ensure that they kind of stay in this one and keep that self-belief alive.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, and now it looks like there's a bunker composition on the side of Warriors. So everyone's playing a little bit of bunker on Paris today. Is them opting for both the Torbjorn and the Bastion though? Opting for just the one tank. Noz will be on the Bastion, so that's interesting. Usually there'll be a Roadhog thrown in there. Teams have been stepping away from the Bastion more recently, but we've seen in Australian contenders, teams are vying for it, so there must be some merit to it.
I've never enjoyed Bastion. Like I can't play Bastion. It's too immobile, you know. I don't know if it works for you, but it certainly doesn't work for me.
You want to be running around clicking on heads, and that's a nice little anti-nade there. Get some ult charge at the start from Tongue.
4%, yep.
So Bus is just using this Sombra to scout. He's not actually going to play it. He's just using to scout their composition. He'll go back, he'll swap to the hero that he wants to play in, and he's chosen the Winston for this. August will go back as well, so Mindfreak might be contemplating swapping up to the DPS here. It looks like they will. August will go onto the Genji, Addy will go onto the Sombra. Okay, so we've seen August play Sombra, now we've seen Addy play Sombra.
Don't get to see too much Genji.
You don't usually get to see too much Genji at all. Plus, getting in here and poking up for a little bit of EMP charge, he manages to get out. I've seen not a lot of August on Genji, in fact, so this will be a new experience for me.
Well, the dive goes straight in, and it looks to be pretty good. There is a shield coming up from the Batiste, and Noz survives through it, but Bust eventually does manage to connect the leap on top of him. It's a big trade. Lots of kills going out on both sides. Roro with a punch does dispatch of August. Certainly a far cry from the Roro with the Dragon Blade, but it still does the job.
Roro with the Torbjorn hammer, not the same ring, but...
It wasn't even the hammer, it was just the punch.
Yeah, I guess that's true with the left hook. Roro with the left hook comes in. But no, that was a very good anti-nade there from Aki to actually open up the fight a little bit. He manages to get the anti-nade on the Bastion, which means Noz goes down pretty quickly, and now he's running back on the Tracer. So we saw August do this before, but Huss has managed to build up an EMP, and this is going to be the key thing this fight. If he can just use the EMP this fight, that's good ult economy on the side of the Warriors.
I think we need to talk about the immortality field in the last fight from Jungle as well. That really did keep... I think it was Noz that was on Batiste alive a lot longer than he really should have survived for. So it was pretty clutch in the end. We're still waiting for this EMP to come out. Playing a bit of a ring around the rosy here for
yeah, they don't have obvious follow-up for this EMP. No Winston to dive in, no really Genji, so it's going to be interesting to see where he uses it. He might use it once they've committed a little bit. Just once the enemy team's overcommitted. August is asleep somewhere. He's managed to wake up. Okay, he's built a Dragon Blade in this time too, so this fight could be very interesting.
Waiting for Huss to dance across, decides he doesn't like that translocated, but this one is good. That is a 6-man EMP. And not a single player on Ground Zero is going to be able to use their ultimates or probably survive this fight.
That's exactly what I thought he was going to do. Wait for them to kind of initiate, try and take positioning, and then as soon as they're out in the open, use the EMP. If you use the EMP there to engage when they're all hiding in that building, again, there's no follow-up. Maybe Tongue gets an anti-nade, but Huss will be forced away straight away just from the enemy shooting at him, and he'll be the only one following up. So good patience there from Huss, and good understanding on how to use his ultimate in that situation. But now we have August with the Dragon Blade.
August with the Dragon Blade. EMP soon for Addy as well, so
But he'll
that's
be
a
greeted
combo.
with 5 ultimates on the side of the Warriors.
Not if Addy gets a good EMP. Self-destruct's going to go through first, and as August gauge off the back of this, Immortality Field goes down early, and so does Roro. He's been chased, but Noz! What? 2 kills with a Pulse Bomb. Are we in Season 1?
Yeah, Noz gets the 2-for-1 deal. He must have just stuck that on a unlucky support that's walked into his mate or something there, but Noz showing a bit of flexibility now, playing the Tracer. We've seen him on the Sombra, we've seen him on the Diva, a little bit of Zarya too. So, Nozzle pulling out all the new heroes.
Yeah, put a nozzle on it.
Well, yeah, if you're the Mindfreak fan, you want a nozzle on him because he's popping off.
This is looking a bit scary for Mindfreak now. 30 seconds, you've got 1 fight left. Sure, you have EMP, Dragon Blade, Sound Barrier, Nano Boost. You got everything really here apart from self-destruct, but is it going to work? August goes straight up. There is... Oh, Tongue! What a sleep dart, but August has been woken up and he's still going to be able to get some work done here. Does actually finish off Tongue. Hustle finish him off though. It's just 1 kill out of the Nano Blade for August, and what a sleep dart that was from Tongue. It might well have won the map here for Warriors. Still, fight is occurring, and Mindfreak are putting some damage into Warriors. Noz is still alive. Can he have some more heroics? A double Pulse Bomb is probably what he needs at this point. But onto the 2 tanks? I don't think so.
No,
Bide the time and wait for the team to
Looks
come
like
back in.
Yeah, they're reconsidering, but he's going to get the stick onto Aki. No, he doesn't. He just misses. But Aki dropping dangerously low. He's already used his nade. Now August coming back in on the Tracer himself. Takes out Tongue, who's managed to swap off to the Wrecking Ball. It's back and forth, but Warriors look like they might have the advantage here. August turning it, though. August gets 3 in the fight.
Addy's going to drop here as well. Roro is onto the Doomfist just to get back to the point faster. Oh my god, he gets 2 Noz 2 as well. And that's a hold from Warriors. Goodness me, what a messy fight that was. But it's 2-0 now for Warriors, and Mindfreak has some thinking to do when we go into the break.
And we mentioned the Tongue Ana a lot last week. Roro actually steals play of the game on Doomfist the last little minute, but yeah, it's mentioned Tongue's Ana last week and how exceptional it was, how patient he was with those nades, and he just nailed the sleep darts this week. If I'm Tongue though, I'm filthy that Roro got woken up.
Yeah.
But the main thing there for me was the individual excellence coming out of the Warriors side really tell you the difference. We saw Roro with a nice rocket punch there, but you saw the individual brilliance, right? You saw the nice stick from Noz wins a fight. The nice sleep from Tongue wins a fight. The big EMP from Huss wins a fight. It's just individual plays that are just making the difference in this series so far. And Mindfreak now have a mountain to climb going back into the second half.
Yeah, 2-0 down, not a position that they'll be too familiar with this season, although something that they would have been aware of from last season. I'd say for Mindfreak, you know, this is, again, going into that sort of storyline that I was talking about, falling into that trap where, you know, they have some closer maps, they have some closer fights, but slowly but surely it really feels like Warriors are kind of working their way into this series, finding their form, and sooner or later we're going to just see them picking up massive moments like exactly what we saw there from Tongue. And yeah, I guess you got to touch on Tongue again. Last week he played very, very well on Zenyatta. This week we've seen what a great sleep dart that was on Ana. If we're going to see more stuff like that out from just individuals on Warriors, it doesn't have to just be Tongue, it can be anyone. I mean, we saw it from Modern maybe on Nepal with the Primal Rangers.
Definitely.
Sort of big individual plays, it's going to be really difficult for Mindfreak to overcome that.
Yeah, that's definitely been the key the first half of this series, is those big individual players, and they have the big individual players, and when it comes off, it looks really, really good. But Mindfreak, they do have good team play, and team play usually trumps individual play, so coming into the second half, we're going to look for that. Look for Warriors to try and continue this momentum, but Mindfreak, they can wrestle it back pretty easily. Hollywood and Rialto, they are pretty stock standard maps for this 3-3 composition, which Mindfreak will feel a lot more comfortable on.
Well, hopefully for Mindfreak, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable on it because they're down 0-2 right now. So certainly something has to change in the second half. It's time for us to have a break. We'll be back pretty soon.